All right, my friends, let's talk about the newly anticipated The Woman in the Yard. I always want to call this The Lady in the Yard, but this is The Woman in the Yard. I've been beyond pumped to see this movie in March. It was on my list, and this movie, guys, has a whole different meaning than what I thought was going into this. I thought it was a lady dressed in a black veil that was just terrifying and almost like a supernatural aspect to the movie. But as you go on throughout this movie, you will see a different whole meaning for the lady that is wearing in the black veil outside of the house. So this movie, I'm going to have a spoiler review on my YouTube channel, but this is going to be no spoilers. The Woman in the Yard, this movie is, the ending and the whole premise of the movie, and when you get to the main point of The Woman in the Yard, it's tough. It's tough because, I mean, it is kind of terrifying. A lot of people deal with this certain scenario in life, and I saw it, and I don't deal with that, so I can't kind of relate to what goes on. But you'll have to see. I don't want to spoil it for you. But some of the major things that I really did enjoy about this movie, I enjoyed the sound, I enjoyed the visuals, the shadows, the way it was used in this movie to create a horror whole embodiment of environment and how you could feel through just the shadows. And this was a really well shot film. Like, I enjoyed how it did different angles with the camera. I enjoyed the shadows, I enjoyed the sound, and some of it was quite scary, the way they use light and the way they use shadows. And I thought the cast did really good. It's the main three characters. It's the mom, and then she has her two kids, and then pretty much the lady in the yard. So that's all it is for quite a while in this movie. And then you kind of get boiling down to, why is this woman in the yard? You get to see what's going on. And like I said, the ending is very effective. As far as, this is a movie, if you go with a group of people, you're going to be talking about it afterwards. You're going to be breaking it down, seeing what everybody thought of it. Some people might not really like this movie because of how deep and dark it goes with the whole story. And some people might like it. They might really, as far as like it hits that horror aspect of what they were going for, and it's really quite terrifying. But overall, I am going to give The Woman in the Yard, I'm going to give this movie a B plus. It was very effective. I thought, some points it did feel like it was a little stale and going a little slow, but they did have only three main characters that they were working with until the build up towards the end. And then it got a little wonky, but it all came back together. Now, for the spoilers on this movie, I'm going to be breaking down really what happened. So if you want to go watch this movie, go watch it. Click off this video. But ultimately, really what happens with the woman in the yard is, when you get to the premise of what is going on, who is this woman in the yard, she's really a metaphor. She's symbolizing what is going on with the mother. The father had passed in a car crash. She was driving, and this is pretty much her deepest, darkest thoughts. That is what the woman in the yard symbolizes. And it's quite scary how, like, she is like the deep, dark thoughts that go in her head. And she even quite says, the mom says, or she's been praying every day, but the woman in the yard is saying, you're praying for me to help you end this. And it's really about ending her life, which is so crazy, so dark, so, and a lot of people deal with like depression and sadness, and this movie can hit home with like a lot of people where it's like, this is tough to watch. And then the really tough part that got for me was when the woman in the yard starts to show the mother. She asks, "What about my children? How is their life going to be after she's gone?" And she shows her pictures of them. And they're all successful and they're happy, smiling. I was like, "What? That's crazy." And then the major twist when it goes into, she has a shotgun, and the woman in the yard, which is her negative thoughts, are going. She's looks like she's going to end it all, and you get to see like she comes out of this, and it looks like she lived, because she does say, if she comes back, I'll know how to deal with her next time. And then you get to see she goes to the house with her kids. The lights are on. The house is all finished, and there's a painting with Ramona. You'll get to see in the corner signed by her, but the R is backwards. And every time she was in like a dreamlike scenario or a vision, it said Ramona. So what I'm thinking is she did end it all, and Ramona, when she saw her name backwards, that was part of her vision, and it was just all over. So we debated a lot of this, me and my family, about like, did she live? Did she, did she go on and overcome her negative thoughts? But I think she really ended it, which is quite crazy because this movie is like a gut puncher. Like, you think she may survive, and you're like, oh, okay, this isn't bad. And then you find out, well, at least from my interpretation, then she really ended it all, and it's quite sad. It is a very deep and darker movie. I did not think this would be a Blumhouse movie. I thought it would be A24, like, or Neon, or like something outside the realm of Blumhouse. I haven't seen many movies that went that dark for Blumhouse, so